This story is about more than just AI. It's about the very expensive physical build out that's required to power these systems. We've heard a lot about how it's difficult to find workers in construction already with the immigration dragnet that's happening. So in order to attract him to come work way out in the middle of West Texas, these man camp manufacturers need to offer things like golf simulators or fresh steaks to order.
To power the boom in data center building, companies are heading far outside of Silicon Valley, and cities in general.
We're starting to see some pushback from cities where residents are kind of concerned about what living near a data center might mean for their property values and for their way of life. We're seeing projects push out further into rural stretches of places like Texas and Louisiana because you can get much cheaper land out there, and you can also find municipalities that are more willing to work with you when you need to negotiate things like power arrangements or zoning changes. While the AI companies are duking it out to figure out whose model will win, there are these other companies that see opportunity just in the build out itself. There's a huge demand to build data centers as quickly as they can, so housing becomes a big bottleneck. Most of these places that these projects are getting built now just do not have the infrastructure that they need for this. Hotels fill right up, RV parks are completely full with workers. All of a sudden there's a line at the grocery store or at the gas pump. We have a lot of these sort of single lane county roads, and they're not built for rows and rows of heavy duty trucks driving on them all day. And so you get roads kind of deteriorating. People are paying thousands of dollars a month just to rent RV spaces near construction sites. We're seeing a wide range of companies get into this, all the way from wily locals that pitch together a little bit of land and sell the RV spots, all the way up to major publicly traded corporations helping house workers. They've helped with oil and gas and the shale boom. If you look at it from above, it looks like an Excel spreadsheet cut out of the middle of farmland. You get this paved surface where you have rows and rows of gray roofs and temporary housing. They'll have their own toilet or they'll have their own sink. They always have Wi-Fi so that you can make video calls to family back home. And then there will be a shared communal kind of dining setup. They place so much emphasis on the food, not only because these guys are working so hard all day that they need the calories, but also because it's an easy way to attract workers when there's such competition for them. We'll also see a lot of amenity space. These are workers that are spending 15, 16 hours a day doing manual labor. You know, I figured when they got home they'd want to go to sleep, but apparently there are often gyms so they can get workouts in.
Employment for construction workers is expected to grow 6% between 2024 and 2034, double the projected growth for all jobs, according to estimates from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Roles for electricians, a particular bottleneck for AI construction, are expected to grow by 9% in that time.
There's a lot of hiring now that's happening from veterans because a lot of these jobs require you to be away from family in less than ideal conditions for weeks or even months at a time. The locals recognize these things contribute a lot to the property tax base. They'll donate to the local school district. They get very involved in the community. At the same time, these are people who chose to live in very rural stretches of the state, and so they're not used to having to wait in line to fill up their tank of gas or to get a sandwich at the cafe. And so there's a lot of frustration now with traffic, with certain quality of life changes that happen when you have a project of this scale in your town.
Locals also have some concern that these camps could become magnets for drug use or crime.
That is a concern among some locals in these towns because during the shale boom, when there were a lot of other temporary villages popping up, that could be an issue. Mayors are clear-eyed that these are short-term projects. While these data centers are being built out, at the end of the day, when these projects are done, these camps will mostly be taken apart. Some jobs will stick around, but the vast majority of them will go away.